working delegation stuff. That's the only thing that we really need to figure out, because now that Andrew has like no tokens anymore, and I don't have any tokens anymore, at least not like a high volume amount. It's not so easy to get to quorum. So yeah, unless suddenly a shitload of people who usually never vote will start voting, we're going to face some serious struggles. So yeah, anyways, but I'm positive we're going to sort this out, hopefully this week, which would be good, because the process is anyway going to take another 2 weeks. So I really want to get this put through quickly.
In my direction?
Are you not voting, Bill? Are you serious right now?
No.
Well.
No, listen, stop.
Listen, stop. Don't be that person.
About it, okay? When I think about it, yes, I do exercise my DAO vote, okay?
Okay,
but
good. Well, we're counting on you right now.
Well, I've only got 2,000 tokens, so I don't know what influence that has.
Oh.
But
okay.
With that being said, you know, I have other stuff going in the background. I'm operating a company, and yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, Will. Hey, Danny. Hey, John.
Hi, Danny. Hi, Jonathan.
You know, all that good stuff.
Yep, there's a million things pulling at our attention in this space. It is hard to keep on top of all of it.
I was part of the Creator Phi Accelerator cohort last week too. That took up a good chunk of my time. So.
Oh wow! Yeah, that sounds like it.
How much is quorum? I find it super easy to focus in this space. Must be a you problem.
Yeah, probably. I'm not surprised.
Nah, since it's not just our space anymore, but like honestly the whole world that is pulling and tearing on our attention span, is, I think, no, there's just like, I'm not angry with any person who's not gonna go get back to me in like 2 weeks time anymore, because I'm like, yeah, I understand. Like solid, just I understand. I don't even, you know. Also had a very interesting conversation last week when I met Julian on Friday, because we had a quick catch up and get some things settled. And yes, we have to do this email thing again. And this time you have to be quicker. I'm sorry. I can message you though on Telegram once he sends it to me. And
yeah, I just wasn't on the computer all weekend, so I didn't see it.
Yeah, that's probably why. Oh, good. And you know, we were debating that. It's actually insane that crypto landed in the far right space of politics. It is like to me and to him is completely insane, because crypto is part of the governance of decentralized blockchains, right? This is what it technically was invented for. That it can also store value and other things. That's great, but you know, and yeah, it's just insane to us that this is where we are now. But anyways, that's, you know, on a side note. And we'll just shared something.
I did, and if we have time from community updates, I'd like to share the results of that.
Sounds good. Let's start with Sven though, because Sven has to leave, and he already said so.
I heard him.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Sven.
Okay, good.
Well,
what
you're
is
muted,
happening?
Sven.
Oh, I was muted still, but yeah, I was made the face because that feedback was, I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, not sure either. I don't think it was me. Don't think so.
Yeah, am I going? What am I doing?
No. Wait, I do the intro for you. Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no.
I would do the intro.
I was like, wait, what am I saying?
No, because I think everyone in here knows you. Although I'm not sure about Jonathan. Actually, I'm not neither sure about Danny. But for the people who probably going to watch this live stream or the recording, so Sven is the founder of Incented, which he will explain us in a short while, and he's also the founder of Carrot Castle, which happened last year in 2025 East Denver for the first time. It was a space that we also co-sponsored, and it was a fantastic space. Honestly, one of the best ones out there. And I'm glad he's doing it again, because he brought people and conversation together that actually, at least in my opinion, that really matter around all of the topics that we're involved with. Yeah, please explore the link that you just put in the chat. And we still had some funds left from then, because we had this fantastic idea to do a treasure hunt during Carrot Castle happening. But honestly, people literally stumbled into a door and fell directly into conversation with each other, which you could not hope for a better outcome, right? There's also a lot of room to present Unlock Protocol and really dig deep and go in depth. It was really great. But we have these funds still left. And then, Stacey and I talked about an alternative to Charmverse and doing less bottlenecked contribution rewards for the people who've been creating for our social media accounts and for the blog. And this is when Sven popped back into my head, and I was like, wait, we still have some funds that we could distribute towards the community, and we could use Incented and a marketing focused campaign to do it. So I reached out, and the cool guy he was like, yeah, let's do this. So, okay. And now Sven goes into a little bit more depth and explains what Incented exactly is, and hopefully introduces himself very nicely. And then we can also talk about the upcoming proposal. And actually, you can also read up on it in the chat, and I will put the Discord link here as well. Okay.
Thank you, Stella. Always super excited to be here. As a matter of fact, we met actually at the Carrot Castle last year, which makes this even more special. Same thing, Triggs and I, for the first time in person, met at the Carrot Castle also. But that's, besides the point. I put the link in there too, if you have any questions about that for the upcoming one. Always happy to talk about this as well. Well, what we're here to talk about is essentially activating those leftover funds to the best of your community, right? Like that, the intention is to really make the most of it. And in hindsight, it's kind of, I think, a good thing that the activation at the castle didn't work as intended, because I think we can have much more impact, right? It would have been fun, but it would have been a much smaller reach. So I think what we're coming up with now makes a lot more sense. I'm getting ahead of myself. So yeah, my name is Sven, obviously. I live in the desert and have a kind of a split life, not split personality, but I live off grid, work on chain, kind of how the best way to describe me. And pretty much I spend all my time thinking about human coordination, specifically in the Web3 space, and how we can improve, one of the biggest bottlenecks, and you guys understand as you're in a DAO, right? Coordination is really one of the hardest problems. And more often than not, coordination has some sort of incentive element to it, some sort of reward element to it, or it should at least, right? All too often do we see that we have all of these things we need to coordinate around, vote on, form opinions on, and we're largely just, not saying this is the problem in Unlock, I'm not 100% sure, but I've certainly seen it in too many DAOs before that you're just kind of expected to do all of this work and you really don't get anything in return. So from day one, we kind of flipped the script with that through Incented and building essentially tooling infrastructure and a platform on top of it to allow anyone, but sort of a early adopter focus on community-based organizations such as DAOs, to launch incentive programs, right? At Incented, these programs can have many, many forms. I just posted a paragraph blog post yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago, about how to use Incented for decentralized raffles, more fair raffles, right? And we're actually raffling off, side note, shameless plug, raffling off a room at the Carrot Castle. If you're looking for somewhere to stay, you should look into that. But the program that's more relevant for you guys and what we're talking about with the proposal for the DAO is using Incented to co-create something, specifically in your case, marketing assets, marketing submissions, specifically for TikTok with this proposal. Again, the proposal's live on your DAO. You can please give feedback, ask questions either here today or in the document, or reach out to me directly. And why incentive is different is that, number one, we are also incentivizing anyone who helps curate submissions, right? So voting is incentivized, but also disincentivized. So that's kind of weird, right? But essentially, we very strongly believe that any incentive that doesn't have a potential downside really has no signal. And if we don't have signal, we don't learn, and we just keep repeating the same problems in our space, right? So how it will work in simple terms, there is an RFP type of program, right? Request for proposals or request for submissions in this case, for people to create these educational videos about Unlock. That's free. Anyone can submit. There is no gating for that. Anyone in your community, and of course, hopefully also new people coming to the community. And then any up token holder can help curate, vote on these submissions, right? Because we, of course, want to make sure that the highest quality surfaces ahead of the rest and gets rewarded more than just a simple slop AI video or something. I'm sure there will be AI submissions. I don't think there's a problem with that, but we want quality. We want the educational element, right? Whatever the program is. And we're proposing basically a split award program. Not to get too deep into the details here of how this all works, but simply said, everyone will be rewarded according to the net positive votes they received, right? And again, this is up token holders. And then the downside I mentioned is what we call the slash, right? The carrot and the stick. So the stick is, I think we proposed 5%, I believe, or something relatively small, just to have a potential downside for making uninformed decisions, right? We don't want people to just come in and just vote yes for everything, because then we didn't gain anything comparing that to the old systems. But any community member should be reading and voting for or against anything they actually believe in or think should not win, right? And if you vote correctly, because you can vote correctly in both directions, you'll get rewarded for that. Is that a decent summary? It's probably long enough already.
Good on my end. What do you say?
Yeah, that seems like a pretty good run through. I see that Will's got his hand up, so maybe we'll pop to his question if that makes sense, and then keep going.
Yeah, thanks for the prompt, Triggs. Do appreciate it. I'm trying to figure out how to lower my hand, but anyways, while I work on that, question is, who supplies the rewards for these campaigns? Does Incentive have an operating budget that you're pulling from? Is it the project owners or the campaign administrators who are supplying the rewards for these campaigns? I know also too, someone in our community, Zal, you've been working with him on a few things too. So just curious how that mechanism works.
Yep. So from Incentive's perspective, answering first without like a general answer, not this program we are proposing. Whoever launches a program brings the funds, right? So we are just giving you the tools, the picks and the axis. You bring whatever you want to award people for the work they deliver with, or reward people through the voting reward pool, right? So we have two different pools here. They don't have to be different, but they can. So for example, for this proposal, we were saying USDC is the award pool that goes to the people who actually deliver the videos, make the videos, right? Deliver the work, payment for your work product. And then the reward pool, the voting reward pool is up token. So you vote with up token and therefore also have the chance to get more up token if you're doing the work. And so for this program, that's sort of the beginning why we started with Carrot Castle last year. Those funds are left over, and they should cover a pretty big portion, like almost like most of it, I think, from the current proposal for this one.
And right, is that just the USDC or the USDC and up? Because you said the up is going to be the voting reward, right?
Yes. So that we would turn, because so technically that's in ETH, it's still in the safe. So I would take care of bridging that over and putting that into the incentive program when it's done. I will need your signature probably. And then now I think we would get up just separately. I think we proposed 20, 100,000 up?
100,000 up. Yes.
I don't remember what I think is that like $200 or something like that right now? I don't remember the math, but
no,
he suggests
I
about.
think it's a bit more. Wait, let me see.
And just a follow-up question while she's looking that up, Sven. And so on Incentive Protocol, this can work with any ERC20 that's in the EVM ecosystem?
Correct. And Solana. We launched Solana recently. So
nice.
Most of crypto at this point, yeah. And yeah, so while you're looking that up, the split token system, right? So I think it makes sense to give people something that feels more monetary, like USDC, which is easier to kind of, even if you don't off ramp it, right? But you understand it's like, okay, I get $50 for this video or whatever, a span or something. It's just easier to wrap their head around. But also, if you have if it's community intern entirely, and you actually want to incentivize activity around your token, you can totally have non-split, right? It can be the same token for awarding people and voting and whatnot. Would love to get your feedback on, as you dive into the proposal and whatnot, there's a ton of links to our documentation. If anything does not make sense, please do not hold back and give it to me straight. I have thick skin.
So just to kind of recap, make sure everybody's understanding this, the incentive program has two different mechanisms for the ability to earn by participating. There is the contributor who is creating, in this case, marketing material for Unlock, because that's what our campaign is for. And so people who are actually creating content and submitting it are eligible to earn USDC if their submissions are chosen by voters. And voters can earn up tokens by voting in favor for contributions that end up winning the vote. If you vote yes and the contribution wins, then you win some up tokens for making the decision that helped it win. If you voted no and it wins, then you get a slash. If you vote yes and it loses, you get a slash. So there's a risk of, if you don't vote in the way, so it's kind of like a, right, Sven, like kind of like a prediction market in that way. There's that element of a mechanism in there. But this is really the way that this is geared. It's not about predicting what's going to win. It's about people just expressing their opinion. And if you have a good opinion in the sense of everyone agrees with it, then you all get, everyone who agreed with that opinion gets an award from participating in voting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's well put. Like, I think the parallel to conviction markets, because it's all the hype now, right? I literally saw a Culture app on Netflix the other day. Kind of crazy. What we call it is conviction markets, right? So I think that the crucial difference for, like, because prediction markets are largely still just gambling, right? Like they're yeah. I mean, let's not go down that rabbit hole. But what's important for communities that are trying to accomplish something, right? You all are working towards a common goal that Unlock Protocol has and your DAO has, and with conviction markets or conviction mechanisms like the carrot and stick mechanism at Incentive, it's actually much less about trying to figure out what do I think everyone else is voting, because that's part of the problem in our space, right? But you should put the money where your mouth is, right? Like, what do you actually want to see win? And if that's the case, right, then you say it's like, well, maybe the upside's not good enough, but we give you the flip of the coin as well, right? You can vote, like, let's just say there's 3 submissions, one you really like, the others are obviously shit in your opinion. You upvote one, you downvote the others, and you earn upside on both if you're correct, right? So we give you both sides to compensate for the potential downside you might see there. But hopefully most people are actually there for the right reasons and not to speculate, right? And that's why those are sort of more. Yeah, that's why the conviction word is better than prediction.
Yeah, and I like that it's upvoting, because I think that really lends towards that goal that you just expressed of, people being there for the right reasons. There's not a whole lot of incentive to hold up token unless you actually believe in the unlock protocol and the unlock DAO. So if somebody has up tokens and they're eligible to vote, there's an incentive alignment there naturally. If we just used USDC or ETH or any other token to vote on these, then anybody could come in who doesn't have a vested interest, and now that brings in speculation and games and gambling. So even though there are dynamics within a community that will come to play in this kind of thing, for the most part, people at this point of the game, if they're holding up tokens, they have some level of alignment naturally, and so there is a healthy incentive to participate in this mechanism. So, Any other questions or comments, or what's I guess the call to action on this is basically just that we have to figure out the DAO delegation stuff, and then this will go up to a vote. But we want to get people engaging on Discord. So throughout the week, I think we're shooting for having the delegation thing finished this week, hopefully. So I'm guessing this will probably be up in the next week and a half, something like that. So we got a little bit of time. Think about it. Bring your thoughts and questions to the Discord. Engage in the conversation there. I'm assuming Sven will be available to, answer questions. We can ping him if stuff comes up that Stella or I don't understand how to answer. But yeah, we want to move forward with this. So definitely, bring your thoughts and share them.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
A couple more minutes, but I am in the Discord. I'm monitoring the channel about the proposal, so if that's might be the best place, right? So other people can read it as well.
Yeah, sounds good. And I'm gonna hopefully get more eyes on this for us within the week. I don't know exactly right now because I'm not a page owner anymore on the tally, so I don't remember exactly. But I think we had 3 million to reach quorum, and right now I have 302,000. So that's not gonna cut it. And I don't know what Danny has delegated to himself, and maybe delegation from others. I also try to reach out to people and tell them that they should redelegate or ideally delegate to themselves and not to my old wallet, because there's a lot of delegations still stuck on my old wallet, which is a little bit annoying. But yeah, I think trying again and mainly getting this DAO delegation working, so we can make sure that at least a few stewards plus voters combined can reach quorum, because if we really can't, that literally cripples our whole governance, right? So yeah, but also
Stella,
listen to learn.
I'm curious. Huh? You can't access your old wallet still?
I can still access it, but I
Could
cannot.
You vote with the delegated what the delegations to your old address? You can't vote with that address?
First of all, these delegations were not made by myself, because my app has already completely stolen from that old wallet. So these are all people who over time have delegated towards me, which, already I never appreciated that idea much, right? To just be like, oh yeah, I know her, she does unlock stuff, so I just delegate my tokens to her. That should not really how people think, but here we are. They did think that. And so now it's kind of stuck on my old wallet, and I cannot really vote with my old wallet, because as soon as I transfer some Ethernet, probably it's going to just get drained,
Oh, you can't keep gas on the wallet. That's why you can't vote.
Yeah. So, niet, kind of niet situation. Yeah, I mean, I was told not to test if there is a drainer bot. So I'm not doing it, but the probability is just very high. So I'm not going to even try. Yeah. But anyways, this is where we're at with this. So I think, it's about 3 million, I think. But also I'm planning on buying some more because, buy the dip and shit, right? That's how we do it.
Yeah, same. I probably can't buy a couple million, but like the upside you guys have in working with Incented in its earlier stages is that we do try to get exposure to the projects we work with anyway. So a little bit.
Yay! Yeah, so I think, if you're gonna buy some, I'm gonna buy some already. Because I really have to get back to my old status, I want to be at least a whale in something. And if it's a technology that I like, then even better. All right. We should move on, I think, with Will, because Will had an update, and then you drag us to the rest of the agenda tricks.
Yeah, sounds good. Go ahead, Will.
All right. Well, I apologize for my lighting. I don't have a lot of ambient light coming through right now because it is a little cloudy here in Colorado, but hopefully you guys can see me okay. Yes, I did want to share an update. So, follow up to the last update that I provided you guys about how we're using Unlock in a very unique fashion, and that's through the TreeGen's Ambassador program. So far, we have minted 247 keys, but some of those are duplicates because people didn't understand the aspect of them being soulbound. But the 244 uniques, that data has been captured. It has been reported through our Karma page. I do apologize for not tagging Unlock on the social posts, but at the time that I made the post, I was thinking about the principal organizations involved in this process because it does have funding implications as well. But I have shared both links on X and Farcaster of the Karma update. What we did instead of doing 244 individual entries is we just did 2 entries for the smart contract view, and then they can see how many holders of those keys from the smart contract view. I think that makes much more sense. So please do go look at it, do inspect it. If you guys feel strongly that this is a benefit to the Unlock DAO, the Unlock protocol, and the Unlock community, we would appreciate any and all endorsements.
Awesome.
And on platform inside of Karma. Yep.
Sounds good. Great update. Thanks, Will, for sharing that. Always great to hear that Unlock is out there in the wild, making a difference, helping projects move ahead and succeed in their endeavors. So thank you for pushing that.
And then just to follow up to the update, what this will lead to as far as net is once the ambassador program concludes and the 100 ambassadors are selected, this will also lead to 100 Unlock certificates being produced on the base chain. All this activity is being produced on base. So hopefully that influences the footprint for Unlock on base as well. But there will be 100 Unlock certificates minted on the base chain as a net output of this activity.
Excellent. We like to hear those kind of reports. Nice work. All right, so moving along through the agenda, we covered incented, and we also talked about the multi-delegation from the DAO Treasury. Well, we kind of talked about the delegation issue, but we are looking into getting the Treasury activated to delegate to members directly from our DAO token supply. Danny's working on that. I don't think there's any update on that right now, but if you want to talk about it, Danny, feel free to jump in. But otherwise, we'll just wait for him to. Julian couldn't join today, so you'll have to chase him down.
Yeah, exactly. I already sent a message. I was really hoping he would join because that would really, really fast track everything because he would be able to send the links and I can get right into it. So now I just have to wait async till maybe whenever he's online. But basically, for those who may not really know what we're trying to do, there's been a problem with people trying to delegate their tokens to maybe break that down to several different addresses and not just one person at a time. And so Julian had to work on a way to do this because you can't just natively do it the way the governor contracts are set up. You can only delegate to one address. And so Julian worked on a way for people to be able to do this with some contract, and that's what we're looking to actually use right now. And that's why we need to like get in touch with Julian to get access to that code and look at it, and then explore how we can create a proposal that lets the treasury, the governor, to like delegate some tokens to several different addresses, which would be the stewards, so that it'll be even more like a DAO, a decentralized process, where once stewards finish their tenure or stuff, they can take back the delegation and delegate it to new people, which would be really cool. So that's what we're looking to do right now, and the first step will be to get access to that contract and the code.
Nice. Yeah, thanks for that update. That will be very helpful. I think that's something that just makes a lot of sense. You know, a lot of times these use cases take a while to flesh out, but it seems like that technology is necessary for the delegation system. You know, on something like Tally. So hopefully we can kind of champion that a little bit and maybe help Tally understand how they need to improve their interface to natively support this instead of having to jump through so many hoops. But hey, you know, we'll see. All we can do is just keep trudging forward. Thanks, Danny, for pushing through the obstacles, many as they are, but he will get to the bottom of it. Of that, I have no doubt. So thanks for working on that. So yeah, our last updates, we have some collaboration updates from Stella and also merch store. So I will turn it over to Stella for a bit.
Yeah, sorry, you know, me and multitasking. I was writing in the chat. So to complete that sentence, I just bought some up because it's probably never going to be that low again now that we are in the vault. And, you know, I think like most whales have either sold that were in for like a token hype. And I think the whales who still hold up, they know why they are holding it. So yeah, I don't think they are going to sell. Because honestly, the friend of Andrews, I think he's been pestering him for quite some time about this. And yeah, I mean, you know, fair enough. Anyways, yeah, updates. No, not financial advice. This is not a financial purchase, really, right? But okay, yeah. So some collabs that are being on the road of at the beginning of this year. So let me update everyone. So here's the and also can I ask you something, Trix? When you're putting the agenda, can you also copy paste the links of some of the things into the agenda thing on Discord? So people can follow up, and maybe potentially easier. I don't know if it's easier. But anyways, there is this little document. So during DevConnect, I met the people from Nscribe at the Gitcoin event, and they essentially, what they do is they name contracts. So we're in conversation with them to get all unlocked contracts actually named with ENS. Right? So whoever is interacting with whichever contract and looks these things up through the blockchain explorer, they will know what is the actual contract that they have interacted with. Let's say the DAO governance contract, right? Or the DAO treasury contract, or the DAO main contract build contract, right? So the point is, usually you only see these 16-piece hashes out there, right? You don't know what you really interacted with, did you? Right? So this is hopefully going to resolve some of that and make, you know, access to I know it's very nerdy, but we think this is going to be helpful to users in the long run. All right. So that's something that Julian and I are working on with them. Then there is this little document that I also published, I think, in a marketing channel. So we're talking to the people from Cello about doing a co-marketing campaign specifically to expose a new product that the Green Pill Dev Guild has built, which is called Green Goods. You should definitely check it out. I think it's greengoods.app, I think is a yeah, this is it. It's really, really cool. It's about community. How can I say? So they're describing us as bringing regenerative actions on chain. Green Goods measures, tracks, and rewards the impact on local hubs with a simple progressive app. So if you're, for example, part of a community garden or something like this app actually allows you to track contributions to that. So it really bridges so well the digital with the physical realm that when I heard this presentation during DevConnect, so you see all this DevConnect stuff is now resurfacing, right? This is always how this works. 2 months later, when everyone has been recovered, like you actually get to work some stuff out. And so anyway, it connects, it bridges the physical with the digital world, and it uses Unlock Protocol to actually certify these actions. So that's pretty cool, and it's all built on Cello. So I reached out to the marketing manager that I met at DevConnect, and I was like, hey, would you be interested in, doing some collaborative marketing around this and bringing some exposure to it? And he said yes. So this is what we're actively now working on. Then, sadly, I was about to test the Phoenix Scanner app on my iPhone, but to actually test an iOS app is so complicated. It's so complicated. Android is so much easier. Don't want to diss the Apple people, but seriously, could you make it any more tricky and complex? It's not fun at all, right? So I was like that short before the call to actually get this done and officially test this and tell you it's all working. But yeah, I have to delay it for another week. So sorry. I was sure I have that information for today. But after, I think it's going to work because the developer already tested it with the iPhone of a friend of his. So I'm just making sure on my end that everything works. I'm the second person to test, so to speak. So yeah, that. And then the last thing is that I actually want some eyes on this proposal for the merch store so I can move this forward. So I'm really hoping to get your eyes and comments on this one. The same as with the incentive proposal. I'm going to put the Discord link here one more time as well, because I know if you've not been yet on these proposals, you probably don't see them specifically in the Discord forum. I don't know why that setting is so stupid. And I haven't checked up on if this is something that we can, but I guess this is still not something you can actually, you can still not influence this. Such a bummer. I don't know why they make this so complicated. Because if you have not been yet on a thread active, then it doesn't show for you, which is a complete bummer, obviously. But yeah, those are, and these are, I think, all the updates. I'm just reading that Andrew wants to reach out to Henry and see if he can delegate some tokens. I think actually Henry had some tokens delegated to me. I have to also reach out to him. But yeah, I would do that. It's actually a good idea. Yeah. Anyways, this is all on my end. Actually, Ceci had some updates, but I think her dog, like one of her dogs, I think Loki or maybe the other one, got sick and she has to go to the vet. So, and it seems it's a little bit more serious because she's been there for like half a day now. So I hope her doggies are going to be okay.
Yeah, that's the worst news. I don't like hearing that kind of news. But I have complete faith that her doggy will pull through and it'll be all right. But yeah, I think she was saying that she's... Oh, go ahead.
You want to see my new cute doggy edition?
Yes. Oh.
Hello, you're now a television famous little doggy. She's so cute. She's such
Looks like she's settling in.
Yeah, she's settling in just fine. Actually, she and the little dog who just joined and is now like walking out of the screen again. What are you doing? They were on adventure tonight. It was really funny. They what? they both left my bedroom at 2 a.m. in the morning, and then it was really funny. And then I did not hear or see them for the next 4 hours. And I think they were just, downstairs lying on the floor because it's much cold, because we have summer right now, no? It's super hot for us over here. And I don't know, they went on a little adventure. What can I say? I thought let's have them have their time, you know.
That's
So
fun. Bonding.
kind of cute. Yeah, it's bonding. It's good. It's good bonding, I think. Yeah, anyway, sorry, that was like not very DAO Call professional, but I thought maybe it's nice to see a doggy face.
I'm never going to say no to a doggy face.
I know. I know you wouldn't. Okay. Also one more thing, actually, because this has been a good listen this morning for me. Danny published a really cool video about the product that he is building with Unlock. So also check this out. If you can spare it a minute, please share a comment underneath and like it, because it's probably gonna help him push this a bit further, please. Okay, so if you can spare it a second to do that, that would be amazing. But also, it's just really good to listen, and you know, it's always, I think, interesting to hear what other people are building and how they get inspired by the protocol or also other technologies. And yeah, so just personal recommendation on that note.
Yeah, thank you for that. I will definitely check that out. Everybody should. Thanks, Danny, for putting that together. Excited to see what the new updates are. Yeah, I think that's all that was on the agenda, unless there's any other community updates. If somebody has something they want to share, feel free.
Someone does have something they want to share.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, so thanks again, Stella, for shouting that out. Really appreciate it. So I just wanted to announce that we do have some updates on T Rex, not P2E Inferno, which Stella just shared, but I would like you guys to really go check that out. And Stella, to all of the things you pointed out before, they've all been worked on. I think I did everything, and some new features too. We also just integrated Cello and Good Dollar. So cheers to all of uh, the Cello work, because now we have a project building on all of that's also integrated Cello. P2 Inferno also integrates Cello. We integrated the good dollar verification, so that's also there. So when you're having those conversations, you can blow that trumpet that we've got projects using Unlock that's built in on Cello. But T-Rex has got some really nice, cool features updated, and it will be nice for you guys to check it out doing events. So I'll just drop the link in the chat, and that should be all from my end or our end.
Awesome. Thanks for that additional updates. Always good to know what our collaborator projects are doing. So thanks for sharing that, and encourage everybody to follow through and check that out. Very interesting project, very Unlock aligned. So a great example of why we're all here.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the T-Rex link. Yeah, check that out. All right. Anybody else have any exciting updates they want to throw in before we wrap things up? Oh, Stella's got one.
Wait, yeah,
you
one
gotta
more.
fight to get your updates in here. It's a hot potato.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I was thinking only of Unlock stuff, but I actually built something that I wanted to share with all of you. It's called Creator Pricing Calculator, and I hope especially to freelancers such as Gosman, and I'm not sure if Lucent is also working as a creative freelancer, but I know Jonathan for a certain part is, for one part is. So I'm sorry that the link preview doesn't show up, the favicon doesn't show up. I'm still fixing that stuff, but essentially this helps you to still a freelancer though. Yeah, great, Gosman. Okay, and actually, let me quickly share my screen and show you guys, because this is how this looks like. It's essentially a creative pricing calculator. So instead of just guessing rates, which I think a lot of freelancers tend to do, and then there's also this unspoken thing of like, oh, you come from a certain part of the world, so you're not allowed to charge XXX price, right? That's just let's call it what it is. It's just bullshit, right? Because as long as you deliver and you deliver well, you should not pricing, according to where you live or where you originate from. It's just not, that's not really fact-based data polling, right? So instead, I made this create a pricing calculator about your monthly expenses. So what's your floor price? What is actually what you need to earn, right, to make a living? But not just to make a living somehow, because that's the problem we're facing right now. Most creators are living under the bare minimum of what they should earn, because they are only charging prices as like the minimum that they somehow need to make it work, right? So instead, you put in all of your costs here. You can also take points out and you can add more expensive if you want, right? So eventually this calculates your monthly expenses based on that, and then your annual expenses. And then what I'm adding here is your tax rate. Of course, you can adjust that depending on the tax rate that you actually pay in your country. An emergency buffer, which I recommend should be between 20 and 30%, and a reinvestment buffer, okay? Because if you're a creator, you have tools you need. At some point, you need to buy a new computer, a new device, right? And you will never have the money if you don't factor that into your rates. And then there's also billable time, right? So most creators will be like, yeah, I can work like, 400 days a year or some shit. You can't, right? You need recharge, you need break. And honestly, you cannot bill your client email hours, for example, right? So also trying to find a realistic approach towards billable hours, which in this case would come out at 576 billable hours per year. And then there is another option to add markup. You can decide on that, right? But if it's a rush job, you should maybe consider to actually add a markup, because it's not normal to do rush jobs, okay? It really isn't. And if they want it tomorrow, then you have to charge it, okay? And so eventually what this spits out for you based on your floor, based on your floor price is the hourly rate, a small project rate, medium project rate. On the left side, it will always show you your base rate, which is break even, right? And on the right side, it will show you your recommended rate and plus additional profit, right? If you're calculating that. And you can export that then, the last sheet, as a downloadable, like as a PNG, as a PDF, right? So maybe if you're doing this on a phone, because this is also optimized for mobile, you can do it as a PNG. If you're on a computer, you do PDF. And you can also save that data as a JSON file, meaning the next time you come in here, you don't have to manually, fill out all of these fields. You just pull in your JSON file here, and then you're done. It's really cool, Stella. Thank you. So thank you, guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why that's cool. It's a very intelligent design. Beyond just the practicality of it, the usability is good. So well done.
Yeah, vibe coding for the win. Honestly, it's crazy what you can do now as a designer with vibe coding. It blew my mind. So I already had thought this through in an article that I published on my paragraph. If you guys are not yet subscribed, maybe you want to, maybe marry me, exactly. Maybe you want to consider subscribing to my blog, because I bring up like a lot of stuff like this. But yeah, I just hope this to be a useful tool for as many creators out there. If you know creators, please send this into the world. It's supposed, I'm not hosting this for fun. I'm hosting this because I hope many creators will benefit from it. And also my eternal belief is we don't really have established rates, globally established rates as creators yet, right? It's not like, we are lawyers, right? Like no one is surprised if a lawyer costed $250 per hour, right? Why is that? Because they have been advocating for this, right? They had lobbyists taking care of this. They had unions taking care of this. We don't have that because we've never done it before. But if we can standardize our pricing and what we're asking for and actually make an argument for it, then I hope this will become more of a norm, right? Than creators just creating completely under their own worth. And also, I would like to hear feedback. Because I'm thinking of making a similar tool just for content creators this time. because content creators and creators in the sense of creatives, so graphic designers, filmmakers, etc., that's still different because it factors in different values, right? So if you think that's a cool idea, just ping me and let me know, and I will develop that. But yeah, thanks. And it's not using unlock protocol, but since we have a lot of creators in this community, I figured it's still a good placement and a useful tool. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think this is an extremely useful tool. I imagine hopefully it catches on and people can start sharing it around, and providing some feedback to improve it if necessary. It might be perfect as it is. Who knows? But yeah, I can't imagine it not being an extremely useful tool. I mean, budgeting is so hard, and having a simple tool that just walks you through with some suggestions about things, it definitely seems useful. I'm probably going to start using it just for the functionality of it, even if not, applying it to other things beyond just creative work, just service work in general. I think that I work in the contracting industry, like physical contractors that are building things, houses and stuff. And a lot of kind of entrepreneurial contractors really struggle with how to set their rates because they always try to think about, well, what does the person want to spend? Not what do I need to afford to do this work? And you have to look at it from the perspective of what you need to do the work. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do the work. So I think that's a very crucial component to this.
Yes, and also if you think about it this way, you actually have, it's almost like you have someone strengthening your spine while you're in negotiations because this is what you need. This is like kind of non-negotiable, right? And I think so far, last year I had so many conversations with creators from the Alana community and beyond, and everyone was telling me the same story. Yeah, this client isn't paying. Yeah, this, I cut the price in half. They're still not paying. If people don't want to pay you, they will never pay. They will not pay if you're giving them half the price, if you're giving them quarter the price. If they don't want to pay, they won't pay, right? So better to sort them out fast because you will only end, I had this with several creators who are like, what am I going to do now? And, there's also recommendations I can give to people if they run into that problem. But also some of them are actually in my article if you want to read it. But the point is that if they don't want to pay, don't bother with them, right? Because they're not going to pay anyways. So rather, move to actually find time to do social media to attract new clients, right? Move on to maybe put together a new website or new portfolio pieces to make some social media noise. I don't know, but your time will be still better invested because these people, you just fight with them. Like one specific contributor who actually does amazing work, right? She was she was completely fooled by some girls, right, who actually run a pretty sizable business. But they were like, no, this is too expensive. We're not paying this. Then she cut the price in half and they're still not paying her. But she spent, so and so many hours and it was not expensive at all. I even scolded her for the low price that she offered this to, right? Because the work she did was worth about $1,200. But she only asked for 400, and then she said like, okay, sponge over, let's do 200, and they're still not paying her. So she spent all of this time for what, right? And clients will be always like this. If they don't want to pay you, of course they don't say it up front, but if you're already encountering these types of struggles, just let it go and always ask for upfronts. I cannot believe that there are still creators these age and day who are not asking for an upfront amount, right? This is like so crucial because I don't know why people suck so much these days, but they really do. Sorry for the little rant.
Yeah, it's the truth. I mean, this industry is really bad for it because it's so young and raw and kind of wild west. The more of the trad industry stuff has a little bit more, I don't know, just like maturity, right? As things mature, as ecosystems mature, this extractive behavior starts to get pushed to the side because people get tired of it and they realize that it's just extracting. But in the Web3 world, it's back to the beginning. We started making a little bit of progress, but now we're back to the beginning. We have no worker protection. We have no regulations that are ensuring anything. It's just you have to stand up for yourself. And if you don't, no one will. And people will just extract your value from you until you have nothing left to give. So I can rant on this all day too.
Actually, funny story, because that example was actually not from the Web3 space, so it was a regular Web2 business. But also because this has been such a long time ago and they cannot sue me even though I'm talking about this now. But I once did a pretty big custom job for JP Morgan, the bank in Vienna in Austria, in not Schönbrunn, in the Hofburg. And so a very famous historical building. And it was hundreds of guests, and a complete lineup of actors all dressed up in Rococo costumes. Made most of them from scratch, bought a ton of them from costume rentals, because in Vienna there are a lot of these costume rental shops that carry these type of costumes. And I had to hunt after my pay for 6 months. For 6 months. This fucking breaks you as a small creator, right? This is crazy. And I still can't believe that, companies actually really have no problem to spend that money, right? JP Morgan is not a poor company. It was 6 months that I had to run, and I was not financially in a good position back then at all. So this almost really rendered me homeless, right? So I really understand creators' struggles, even though now I've moved up in the world and I live a very different lifestyle, but I really still understand them. And sadly, that was over 15 years ago, right? And I feel nothing has changed, right? And we need to change this. If we're not changing this, like our generation specifically, Trix, sorry, pulling you in that boat. Our generation specifically, like, what's the good thing that we've left for younger generations? I feel we've been so compliant with our elders in a way for being a young or newer, more modern generation. I'm like, what? We are the ones who established that it's okay that interns are being exploited, for example, right? Like that's something our generation essentially established as, like, this is an okay status quo. We should have stood up and said, like, no, you want to exploit someone who has no clue, hasn't studied this. I studied this. Don't exploit me. I don't work for free. But we didn't do that. And now the generations after us are, what is your generation? Well, Adeni, I think you're too young. I'm 41. How old are you?
I'm 31. I'm 33 this year in actually a couple days now. Because Sunday is my birthday.
On Sunday, 25th?
Sunday. Yeah, 25th. So I'm not that young, but I'm still young.
Yeah, we're all pretty young, let's be honest.
I feel super young. I don't feel 41, just so you guys know, in case you didn't already.
Yeah, I feel like I'm 81, but we won't go there.
Okay, I love this. This is a classic Trixie commentary.
I absolutely feel 21. I've been jumping around, climbing around.
Hey, you're only as young as you behave, so you might as well keep it that way. Once you start acting old, then you start getting old.
I'm already acting old, though. The time that I go to bed, it's usually for grandparents, actually. But that doesn't change how I feel in my heart. Early 20s. Cosmin is young. See, someone who is actually young. We make a good average, honestly, even on this call. I think this is the important part, that, in Web3, so many different generations and cultures can come together and cross paths and hopefully learn from each other. And yeah, figure out just, I know there's a lot of noise out there right now, but if we can just figure out mini milestones that make the world a more decent place, I think we're already onto something. Like, no pressure, obviously, but like tiny steps, tiny steps for everyone. It will eventually amount up to something. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways,
I agree with
so I
that.
will stop preaching now. Let's end this. Let's end this.
Yep. On that note, it's time for me to take my old person nap. So we'll wrap things up. All right. Thanks everybody for joining us. It's been a fantastic unlock call as always. And make sure you head over the Discord, check out the forum, and make sure you navigate into the forum. Don't just look at the sidebar. You got to get in there and find all the new stuff. That's where all the good stuff is. So dig in there one level deep. Otherwise, you'll miss out on all the fun. That's where we're all partying now. So get in there. All right. That's all we got. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Guys.